love ads? Because I love ads. You know what else I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence keeps this blog about 99% ad-free. So hello everyone. This is Inkvent 2022. I know a lot of people enjoyed doing this last year. If you don't want to see any spoilers of this year's Diamine Inkvent calendar, switch off this video. You don't want to watch this. Mike, he does not like to be spoiled, whereas I'm totally okay with being spoiled. I don't mind seeing things ahead of time. I'm still going to enjoy them when I open up the door. So this is all going to be one take. If I mess anything up, I don't do editing at all. Mike does that. He doesn't want to be spoiled. So if I mess anything up, please, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. Anyway, well, this is Audrey. I should have introduced myself. You probably see me on Fridays. But this year is the Inkvent calendar. It's the green edition. There were two other previous editions. There was a blue and there was a red edition. This is actually $115 this year, which is a little bit more. We got ours from AndersonPens.com. Thank you so much for the Andersons. We did get a little bit of a discount, but we did pay for it. So take that into consideration. It does not make us biased at all. So this is 24 bottles that are 12 mils each. And here I'll show you a little example of day one. So yeah, these are 12 mils, a little less than half an ounce. Plenty of ink. This is a great amount. So there's 24 of those, and the final day, I don't want to ruin it, but is going to be a full plastic 30 mil 1 ounce bottle. On Christmas Day, of course, day 25, and that's where the big one is here. So you just go through, open them up. They do have plastic around them, which are very difficult to open. You should definitely get a knife or some good smaller scissors because these are not going to leak at all, which is a great thing. These do often sell out. So I know some people want to, Scraggles is here helping me. Some people do want to know ahead of time. So hopefully this will help you decide before they sell out if you want to go ahead and buy it. Individual inks have been available in years past. I don't know for sure if these are going to be available later in the year, sometimes on the beginning of the next year, but likely. So if you happen to not get this and decide, oh, I saw the spoilers, I do want this one particular bottle, you definitely can get it most years. So hopefully you can this year. So these will include standard, shimmer, scented, which is new this year. There has not been any scented ones in years previous. And there's also a scented and sheen. Also chameleon. And I'll describe what a chameleon is in just a second. And then a chameleon and sheen. So I looked it up, and a chameleon, I saw that Pen Chalet actually asked Diamine about this. And a chameleon ink is a much brighter shimmer than usual and changes color on paper depending on the angle of the light. So it doesn't sound like it's one of those inks that, depending on the type of paper, which we've gotten, you've seen where it changes a little bit more blue on a particular type of paper, and if you switch it onto a different type, it changes. But it seems like when you change the angle, it's more like a duochrome, multichrome. We'll have to see. But that could be part of the reason why it's a little bit more expensive this year, because sometimes those pigments are a little bit more expensive. So a lot of info. Hopefully this will help you. And so let's go ahead and get started on some of the swatches, okay? Day one, we have Bliss, which is what I showed before. So this is definitely going to be a blue, as you can tell from this. And this is a standard. So this is Diamine Bliss. It's a nice sort of light blue. There's a little bit of a yellow tinge you see here. And a little bit of shading. I think you get a little bit here, but not too much, but this is pretty, it's a nice blue. See if we have a good order here. Day 2, we have Yule Log, which is going to be a nice brown. And this is a shimmer. And that's what this looks like here. You can see it's quite a chestnut sort of brown, lots of yellow tones in this one as well. It looks like it has some of that bronzy shimmer to it. See here. It's not too crazy in the writing, but when Mike does his individual by day, he's going to do some comparisons. I don't have time, unfortunately, to do any of the comparisons, but come back in December and he'll have lots of those and a little bit more info about how these compare to other things. That's a nice one. Day 3, we have Solar Storm, and this one is our first chameleon. You can see this definitely has a shimmer on the bottom, and this one looks like it's mostly gold, but does it look brighter? I'm not sure. So let's see what we got here. So here we go. You can definitely see the shimmer does stand out. It's sort of that gold. It's slightly a little bit green tinge to it. You do see some of that red sheen there. This is a deep sort of a navy, sort of an indigo. There's a little bit of a purple tinge to it. So I don't know if I really see a shift, but I mean, you do see some of that red in there. Nevertheless, it is very pretty. Okay. Up next, day 4, we have Spruce. And I don't think you'd be surprised to find out that this is our first scented one. So I didn't actually smell the bottle last time. So let me see if I can open this up and actually see if just sniffing the whole bottle instead of just what came out, on the swatch, what I did to swatch. So I do smell it. It doesn't smell overpowering. I'm not sensitive to smells, but I do smell things easily, if that makes sense. So I don't know how much you'd be able to smell it in a pen. I have not used it in a pen. I've only used it to actually just do the swatches. So I can't tell you that. If you are sensitive to smells, I mean, maybe you want to give this one away because it really might bother you, especially if you're bothered by some of the KWZ inks, then this may not be for you. But it is a very pretty green. It's like a nice evergreen, sprucey, but you do definitely see some red sheen here, especially on the edges and even in the wetter writing. This is with a dip pen, a glass dip pen. So you can see it's definitely lighter in certain spots and with sheen in the others. I'm smelling the paper right now, and I don't really smell on the paper anymore. Initially, you probably can, but once it dries enough on the paper, it likely will just go away. So it doesn't bother me. Certain ones are a little cloying, but this one seems to not be an issue for me. So hopefully it continues to stay that way. Day 5, we have Spiced Apple. It's not a scented one, which would have been nice actually. We've got another chameleon. So let's see what the bottom is. So yeah, it looks very reddish, fiery looking here. This really sort of looks fiery. Let's see if you can. Well, that looks really nice in the bottom. You can see it really swirling around in there. Super cool. Okay. Here's the swatch card. You definitely see a lot of gold, green sheen on the edges here. And yeah, it's sort of more reddish, like bright red. And then you definitely see more of the gold and brown tones straight on. Hopefully that you can see that on the video here. So yeah, that one's really cool. I really like this one. It's very intense and I like it. Okay. Day 6. We have Ghost, which is another standard. And that's what this one looks like. And this one's really interesting. It's one of those colors that's sort of gray, a little purple. Yeah, it's something that's sort of in between that. It's a little bit lighter, but it's definitely readable. So I don't think it would be too bad. This is a little bit of a wetter. I used a broader, I don't remember which one I used, if it was a fine or a broader of the glass dipped pens, but I really like the shading in this. And you see a lot of blue as well as the purple in some of those areas. So I like this one more than I expected to. I would like to actually see this in a pen to see how it works out. Okay. Continuing on, day 7. We're already to day 7. We have Alpine. And this one is a shimmer. So this one looks a little bit more silvery. Okay. And so here we go with Alpine. It is a deeper color than Spruce. There's a bit more black to it to my eye. And this does look like silver shimmer to it. Very pretty. Day 8, we have Jingleberry, which is another standard. And here we go. This is really vibrant. It's sort of, the one I remember from last year is Party Time. It's definitely more berry tone, more of like a raspberry color. It doesn't have shimmer, a little bit of shading in here. But this was really vibrant. I'd really like to put this in a pen. I think it's my sort of pink, I think. So day 9, we have Cardinal. I'm from Ohio, and the state bird is the cardinal. And we have plenty of them around here in North Carolina as well. Another standard, so we've got a few standards in a row. And this is vibrant. This is a really nice red. I was talking to Mike recently about how many I haven't used a red ink in a while, and I definitely want to use that. It looks like there's really not much, shading in here. It's just a nice, bright red. A little bit more of a some yellow tones in here as well. Very nice and sunsetty. Okay. Day 10, we have Dusted Truffle, which actually sort of goes with my nails a little bit. And this one is a shimmer. This looks like some more silver here. Here we go, Dusted Truffle. This one's much lighter than I expected it to be. It's a little light. I think this will be one that you'll want to use a broader nib, but it does have some really nice shading here. And you can see the shimmer. It's not as in your face. Maybe I didn't shake this one up enough, but it really just sort of settles into these spots that have more ink that laid down. But I think this one is an interesting sort of murky, taupish brown, a little bit of gray. So that one's an interesting color. Day 11, we have Appletini. Ooh, I've never had Appletini. Let me know if you have. Put it in the leave me a comment to see if you like that. Another standard. I'm expecting this one to look pretty vibrant, which it is. This one is very bright, very cheerful. It has some shading, definitely more of a lime color, lots of yellow in this. I think this would be a bright, fun one. I think it's definitely readable. I don't think you'll have any issues of being it too much like a highlighter ink, and it'll actually show up. So there we go. Okay, up next we have Memory Lane, which looks like it's going to be a purple, and this is a shimmer with some, looks like silver here. Okay, we have this. It looks a little bit of a more of a lilac purple medium. It's not too dark, has some nice sheen in here. or some nice shading. Lots of that silver shimmer. It stands out quite well. It gets really dark when you put a lot down. But I like this more than I expected. I think this would be a really nice one. And there's quite a bit of pink in here as well. So quite a pink-based purple. Okay, day 13, lucky 13. We have Upon a Star, which is yet another chameleon. This looks like it's blue, I think. I'm not really sure here with the base color. We'll have to see. So this one is a really pretty blue color. Lots of that red sheen here. I'm trying to figure out what color that shimmer is. It's a little bit gold, I guess. It might be a mix of gold and silver, actually. But you can definitely see that overlay of sort of, even up here, you can see that red in there. So yeah, it's really pretty. But it is just, it's a nice blue, but you often get a blue color with red sheen. So if that's something you're into, I think you'd enjoy this one. Okay. We have up next Three Kings, which is a standard. And here's this one. Yellows and golds can be sort of polarizing. This one is almost of a mustard sort of look, and it's sort of that ugly pretty color, and I really like this. It has really nice shading, no real sheen, maybe just a tiny bit here on the edge, which looks a little bit reddish. Yeah, I actually really like this. It's readable as well. I think that even if you have a finer nib, I think this is going to be a great ink. So I don't know, I can't think of any off the top of my head that looks quite like this. So yeah, I'm really liking that one. Okay, day 15, we've got Pick Me Up, which is a scent and a sheen. So when I was swatching this one, I don't know what this smelled like. It's not strong. Let me smell it again right now just to see if I can get an idea. Yeah, maybe there's like a hint of cologne sort of smell, but not in a bad way. But I like spruce a bit better. It's not too strong as well, but I cannot tell you off the top of my head what it exactly smells like. So if you have a better nose than I, you might be able to tell. But so this is a nice sort of scotchy brown with lots of like green sheen. It's a really interesting look here. Yeah. So this is an interesting one. Again, the pens down here is lots of sheen on that. But if you are sensitive, I think that I could see somebody being more sensitive to this smell than the spruce. It sort of has a little bit more of a fresh smell. If certain things sort of have a laundry smell to them, it will give me a headache. I don't think this one would give me a headache, but I just feel like it's something that would potentially bother me more. So day 16, we have Serendipity, and it is a shimmer and sheen. Let's see what the shimmer is down here. Looks like it's gonna be silver. This one is very cool. It looks almost like it's like a teal. Lots of red sheen in there. And looks like, actually I was wrong, it looks like it's actually that bronzy sort of looking shimmer in there. So you can definitely see it's more of that blue with a hint of green. Yeah, I really like this one. It's interesting. The bronze, I think, adds an extra element that is not as commonly seen with this combination. So I really like that one. Okay. Day 17, we have Flame, which also, this goes well with my nails. This is a standard. And here we go. This is a really vibrant sort of, cantaloupe color, I guess you could say. A tiny bit of shading in here. I don't really see any sheen, but I think this one will work best in a broader nib. It's a little bit lighter, but I mean, it's still readable. But I think this is a nice, fun orange if you're really into orangings like Mike is. But I'm not sure. We'll have to see what he thinks about it. Day 18, we have Olive Swirl. This is another chameleon. Sort of that green gold. A little bit of red almost right there as well. Let's see. This is a really interesting, I love olives and I love the olive green color. Yeah, this is really pretty. The shimmer looks actually sort of green here. I don't get too much of the shimmer here, a little bit, but it's not as strong. I don't really see too much a shift here. You can see some shading. I don't see really any sheen so much. Yeah, this is a chameleon. It doesn't seem as complex as some of the other ones. I like it because I really enjoy this sort of khaki olive green color. But yeah, I don't see the chameleon as much on this one, but you know, I still like it. We're getting down there, everyone. We're on day 19. We have Silent Night. This one is a standard. Let's see what kind of blue we have here. Here we go. This is a really nice sort of deep navy blue. Not really, a little bit of shading, but not too much here. Just a little bit on the edge. You can see it's a little bit lighter, but yeah, nice, pretty normal, dark blue. Can't say anything bad about that. Day 20, we have Arctic Blast, which is a chameleon and sheen. Okay, let's see what we got here. Very nice royal blue. So the red sheen here. Let's see this color. It's like a nice blue, vibrant blue shimmer on this one. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's really pretty. I think I like this one more than the other one that was the blue with the red sheen. It's a little bit more vibrant to my eye. So that's pretty. And you can definitely see some of the red sheen here on the writing. Let me see if this smears much. No, I didn't really get any here. It doesn't seem to really smear. I have a little bit of lotion on my hands, but that's really good because nobody likes to have a smeary sheen on their paper. Next, day 21, we're almost there. We got Cozy Up, which is a standard. Here we go. This is an interesting color. Lots of shading here. It's red, but it's sort of a muted, sort of a rosy color, but it's definitely sort of a lighter version. I don't know how to start this. Very pinky red, maybe a little bit salmon. Tell me what you think. So yeah, this one's pretty nice. It's a little bit light, especially when the dip pen got a little bit less ink on there. So it might be a little light. It might be another one of those when you want to have a little bit of a wetter nib on there for this. Day 22, we have Deck the Halls. Looks like we got a purple, another chameleon, and we have, it's a very deep purple. It looks like there's some black here. It really gets really dark when it's a lot more ink is put down. It's a really nice pink. It looks like a pink bronze shimmer there that really stands out though. But yeah, it definitely is really dark. It's a little bit of green sheen here on the very edge. Not much though. But yeah, this one I think would be another one that I would definitely want to put in a pen to see what this will really look like in the end. 3 more. Day 23, we have Celebration, which is a shimmer. Another one that is really fun to see in Fun Swirl. Okay, looks like some gold or some of that bronze, copper bronze. So here we have another one that's sort of that similar salmon sort of color. It's red, but a bunch of pink in it as well, with that sort of coppery, bronzy color shimmer. So yeah, it sort of reminds me a bit of the other one, but it's a nice red. There seems to be several reds this year. Okay, day 24, Christmas Eve. We have One More Sleep, which it is one more sleep until Christmas, which is a standard. So what we got here, this is really nice shading. You can see a lot of ink stain on the bottom, nice lighter on the top. It's almost like a periwinkle or a cornflower color, but it's sort of a dusty color. I really enjoy blues like this. So yeah, this is a nice one as well. Last but not least, you always hope for the final day that is going to be the full 30 mils or 1 ounce to be your favorite, right? So let's see if Christmas Day is going to make us happy. This is Best Wishes. It doesn't tell you on here what type it is. So I didn't write it on the swatch card, but to me, this looks like, I don't know if they're going to call this a chameleon necessarily, but they could say it's a chameleon. It definitely has sheen. It's a deep green, deeper than some of the other ones we've seen. And then lots of red sheen and some green shimmer in there. So this is definitely a top favorite of mine. I'm very glad you can see a lot of the sheen down here. It's mostly sheen actually. So I'm very happy that I do love this one. I'm glad that this is the full size of it. So what do you think this year? I'm glad they're sort of expanding and making things a little bit different. And we still have some normal standard ones. This is a lot of ink, so hopefully you have lots of pens to fill this with. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope this helped you decide whether or not you want to purchase that this year. And yeah, there's a nice wide variety. You got your greens, you got some purples, some yellow, orange. Yeah, I think they do the best they can to get a nice variety of colors for everyone. And I mean, it's a lot of inks in one collection. So yeah, I think Diamine does a great job. So I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. On December 1st, Mike will be right here to do a daily unboxing of each color for you. So check back then. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you on Fridays. Bye.
All right. You're live and in color.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm all done.